Woof! Welcome to Fab Finds Fun Flips. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Cha-ching, cha-ching. That's my AI version. Cha-ching, cha-ching. On adventures in reselling and thrifting with 2DogsDigs. Only one dog here right now because the other dog's computer literally crashed a minute before we're supposed to go. So you got me. And then he'll be joining us as we go along. Thanks for joining us here on 2DogsDigs Hall Pass for a Tuesday night. And thanks for joining us at the 8 p.m. hour because we're doing it a little earlier, just for lots of different reasons. We just thought we were actually taking a little extra time that we were sitting around for the 9 o'clock. So it was like, okay, if we do it at 8, we can sort of figure out what's happening with the rest of the night. So we just decided to try it. So big hello to everybody who's here. Sandy's here, Janet. I mean, my little thing like Mr. Rogers, Lisa, Charmaine, Brian, Jennifer, Paul, Tina's here. Hello, everyone. Kendra, Louette, Heather and Bob, Hydran, Linda, Michael. Who else? I think I got all the names that I see right there. So thanks for everybody for joining us here. Hello, there we go. So yeah, we had a fun week, thrifting and reselling. So we did a few different things. Last week, we're going to talk a little bit about it a little later, is we went to a public library sale. Never gone to one of those before. And so it was very interesting. So we'll chat a little bit about that. There he is. He's waiting for the silver beast. That's the computer that he calls downstairs to wake up. I did have some interesting stuff that also happened last week. So last week, I was invited to eBay Canada and to a thing that they've got called Toronto Connect. And it was really, really interesting for a couple of reasons. One is there's the big eBay Toronto. One of the things that was probably the most interesting was I can't believe how big and committed eBay Canada is now to versus potentially a while ago. So the last time I was actually at the eBay offices was, I think, 7 years ago. And it was actually Kijiji's offices. And I think there were 14 people working for eBay Canada. Their new offices that they've just opened, they've only been in them, I think now 6 or 7 months, maybe a little bit more. They are one entire floor right by Sugar Beach in Toronto. They already have 100 and some odd employees. And in the next couple of years, maybe not even the next couple of years, in the next year, they're expecting to add another 2 floors, full floors, with another potential 200 more employees to eBay Canada. Now, it's not just eBay Canada's there. The eBay Canada's operating out of there. eBay International, in some cases, are operating out of there. Andrea, who used to be eBay Canada's president, is now the COO of eBay International. So she operates things for France and Germany and Australia and the UK out of that office. They have a dedicated team for shipping that used to be like, I think, 2 people. They've now got an entire section. They have a whole eBay Live team and group in there. So it was really interesting because it finally, after all the years of hearing it and seeing how big eBay US was, it really felt like, wow, eBay Canada has finally like sort of come around and they now recognize who they could be and should be actually to anybody who's coming. They're actually having a collectibles summit for about 20 or so sellers coming up in a month or so. I'm going to be going to that as well. So nobody else don't know what it's like. Just me. This particular thing had 4 people at it. Mandy from Mandy Crafts, and 2 other people who I didn't know at all. They were somebody from a place called Slab and another one that was an auto parts dealer. And they are, yes, it is a permanent office for Canada. It is huge. They've invested a lot of money in that. we're paying for it. Well, we pay for everything anyway. But it was really interesting because they had a panel. They had about 100 employees there, and they were doing stuff all through the day. They had people in this big, huge meeting room. They were there doing like presentations for them. And then we came on around 11 o'clock, and we were there for about an hour and a half for a question period where there was a moderator who asked us a whole bunch. It was, I think, the lead for AA Canada, who asked us a bunch of questions. It was really interesting because the guys on the end, Mandy and I, are more like most of you guys. The two people on the end, the guy beside me was literally an auto parts dealer who sells tons. The guy on this side from Slab something, my God, like the week beforehand, he had an auction on eBay Live Canada that sold like an $80,000 Pokemon card. In 5 years, he has gone crazy, and he runs this company, and it's everything that this company does is consignment. So he doesn't own any of the cards. They did so much business on eBay Live from the Slab company that eBay US Live phoned eBay Canada to ask if this was real or not, because they could not believe they actually outpaced some of the people in the US. Now, the really interesting thing is the eBay Live people talk to us, and we're going to be meeting with them as well in a couple of weeks, because they do want to expand out to the rest of us, the best of us, the rest of us being the best of us, thrifters and resellers, people like there are on Whatnot. So not everything there is going to be that. They've expanded a little bit into clothing, but they want to get into people like you and me who sell anything under the sun. So I haven't really talked about it. I haven't looked into it that deep, but it's really, really interesting. Here's Ricky. He was there with me.
Hello. Yes, I was.
Now, he didn't go on stage because he didn't want to go on stage.
Well, no, I think it would be odd to have two of us from 2DogsDigs versus one from each of the other places. It would look really, really odd. So yeah. I just added a couple of pieces of color commentary from the side.
But again, it was really interesting. It looks like it's going to be something that is very beneficial for Canadian sellers. And again, it looks like eBay Live may be building its way up to sort of the way Whatnot has been up here. So explain the meaning of golden ticket. Willy Wonka, the chocolate factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that's the golden ticket. So inside one of these bars is a golden ticket. I know, but I'm bad dog and he's good dog. We're 2DogsDigs. And golden ticket is just because I happen to be wearing my Wonka shirt. I wear all these different kinds of shirts now. That's now that it's getting a little lighter out. The weather is getting a little nicer. No, that's not a good picture.
Yeah, I don't perform well on stage.
See all the Wonka bars?
Not without a script. I see a golden ticket. Stop playing with your golden ticket on screen. This is not OnlyFans.
Well, yes, he would have spooned, but we actually had a booth afterwards. There was a table, and the funny thing was, I know it probably, I don't even know if I have a picture of it. The funny thing was when they set the table up, there were things beside everybody that said, okay, here is this person's table, here's this person's table, here's this person's table, and let's see if I've got it. No, I think I've moved it somewhere, so it's not in here. But for some unknown reason, they put the word 2DogsDigs, and above it, instead of Craig and Rick, it said Kark, K-A-R-K. And Rick and I walked up and said, I wonder who Kark is. And then the person organizing it walked up and went, oh my God, I don't know how that happened. And crossed out Kark and wrote in our names.
She was mortified, but it wasn't a big deal because nobody was really looking
since
at
then, I've been emailing them as, hi, it's Kark here. Yeah. Just something interesting that we sold. I mean, let's start talking about thrifting and reselling a little bit more than just eBay focused. We actually sold some stuff in the past week. We did actually sell, I think we sold as much on Etsy as we sold on eBay, which is really interesting. We had a couple of good days in there. And one of the things I wanted to show you was, if you recall, we talked about Gonzo or baby animal, and that you can get that. And it was literally the Canadian version, and I had that one little baggie that I got the 2 baby animals in, and I had them for $3.99, I think was for the bag of 2 of them. Well, I decided to get really ballsy and say, you know what, I'm going to post these on .com, ebay.com, and I'm going to post them at $40 US. We sold both of them within 12 hours.
Yeah, I originally thought the same person bought both. Little mix up on my phone.
$10 shipping on top of that. So we got $40 US for that. Yes, it's an hour earlier. I mentioned that last week and in our craft group. Kark is the new Brangelina.
It's Kark with a K, please.
Maybe they were thinking about Carl. We were trying to go Craig and Rick, Kark, but I don't know. Okay. And then something that Rick actually picked up, which were these little Homeco owls. And we see these a lot in thrift stores. I don't remember what you paid for them, Rick. Not very much money.
Well, those were $2.99 for the pair.
For the pair. And
off.
It was like we thought we'd try them on Etsy first and sold them on Etsy in a week for like $30 plus shipping. So really nice. Couple of little sales there to start us off.
Interestingly, they sold to Edmonton.
Yeah, they sold to Edmonton.
We've had a few sales to Edmonton all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Now let's go thrifting. So
yes,
this was one of the things that I happened to pick up. I did do a little video on this. I don't know if you saw it as in my reels, but I saw this on Friday and I immediately grabbed it. I grabbed it for a couple of reasons. The first reason I grabbed it was because I thought, oh, these are really cute. Now, if you're not familiar with them, what they're called is Disney Doorables. So Disney made all these combination of visible and blind box versions of these little adorables, but called Doorables. And they're all different kinds. You can sort of see like the Pluto there is like all shiny kind of thing. And then the Lion King is just like, looks like a regular Lion King. There's a Sully over here that's like all metallic. So I didn't know much about them, but I thought, while I'm there, I'm just going to do a quick look up just to see if it's worth. Now, I take a look at there and see if I can figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 4, 6, 8, 30. So at least 60 of these, maybe 75 of these. Take a look at what I found. This has shocked me. I was in the store. $116 for a lot. $100 on bids for a lot. $119. These are just some. A lot of $144 for $300 on auction. 100 figures, $233, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I had to grab that. I did squeal. I was like, ee, quietly.
I heard him from home.
And that's very, very true. Someone spent a lot of money on those. So, but yeah, so this is, I haven't even opened it up yet to do a bigger sort of deep dive into it, but this is, where are you there? This is the box right there. But as you can see, there's all sorts of different things in there, and they did a really big job of taping it up so no one could get into it.
It looks like there are 30 or 40 of them in there.
Yeah. Now, today, Rick was just not doing it. Even though it's the Tuesday, it's supposed to be the thrift day.
I had to mow the lawn.
Well, I'm glad he did. He did actually mow the lawn. So he had to trade off something.
And I didn't want to do any peopling whatsoever. I barely wanted to look at Craig.
So he sent me away. And the kicker is I found virtually nothing. I spent like $20. So I'm wondering if he's the reason that I spend so much money on Tuesdays, because I didn't go with him and I spent $20. So I'm just going to show you the few little things that I picked up. So
I know the reason for that. It's because I take my time.
Well, if you take your time,
it
and also
forces you to.
Also, there wasn't anything that new. I mean, it's true. This is something we've actually sold a number of these before. I don't know if anybody recognizes it right off the bat. The first thing I recognized sitting on a top shelf was the top part here.
Tang.
I don't actually recall seeing that many that have this kind of thing on them, but what it is
Tang.
Tang.
Ting tang macarang dang.
Tang. Tang is, for those young'uns out there, is an orange powdery drink that I think the astronauts took to space. Is that right, Rick?
Yep. That is
we
correct.
sell these all the time, $25, $35. So 30% off, so it was $3. And I've sold them before, but most of the time I've ever had them, they've been clear, Rick. Or haven't all the ones been clear?
Yeah,
I just thought that was interesting. And again, $3.99. Next, this is just, again, a cute little thing, $3.99.
Elisa asked how much the little Disney thingies were. I think they were $10.
This was, this was $9.99. And then I used a $2 coupon. So $8 Canadian plus tax, so $6 US. So I hope to get like 75 plus for it. I'm going to do an auction. I'm going to start it at like $49 for sure. I found this, sometimes you see something, and I just saw this baggie. Didn't mean anything a lot when I look at buttons. I usually leave them there, and I flipped it over, and then I saw that there was a little Smurf button, Happy Smurf Day. But then I could see there were a few other Smurf buttons in here. So I literally bought this more so for going up to our antique booth. And there is a few that I think might have You Hug Your Smurf Today, Soccer Smurf, then Equal Rights for Smurfette. But then there's a couple other cute ones in here. This is actually from Canada's Wonderland, which is the equivalent sort of our Six Flags / Disney in Canada. It's actually, I think, owned by Six Flags now. But Pebbles. So I think Flintstones collectors might be interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
I Hate Homework. And then there's also ones that are obviously just sort of crappy. Aurelia. What's that? Caring, affectionate, teaching, and equal. No, thank you. Ontario Special Olympics. So I don't expect there's money in a number of these different things. This is a very old 1975 Calgary Stampede button.
That we can look up.
That we'll look up. So again, a fun little find for not a lot of. That's perfect. Look, there's a Pebbles and Bam Bam. Now I didn't look at any of these things. I didn't look up the Tang thing. I didn't look up these, but for $2, I thought, you know what? That's okay. I'll just pick them up. Whatever happens, happens. Next, I saw this, and we have actually sold quite well at our antique mall. This happened to be I'm not sure if it's going to reflect properly. They're 3-dimensional, sort of 3D image M&M cups, brand new 3D cups. Again, $3.99, 30% off. This will go up to our unit for probably $28. Every time we put anything like this up there, plastic or glass, we just put a glass Sailor Moon set up, Rick, didn't we? I bought that for $5. Yep. It sold for $50 up there. So it's, and again, they have a 3D imaging, but it's not coming across well on there. This was really interesting, and I've done research since I got home, and I can't find anything on this.
I like those sorts of things.
I do, and I don't. This is what I saw sticking out of a rack. Now,
it looks like Baymax with Hello Kitty.
You, Rick. Not you. Don't you say anything.
I already said. Oops.
It's not a show for you. It's a show for everybody else.
I didn't see it, so it is for me, too.
No, it's not for you.
I'm a delightful bugger, aren't I?
You are such a delightful bugger. So, yes, but not just that. What else is it?
Huh?
It's not just Baymax. It's Hello Kitty.
I said that.
Big Hero 6, meet Baymax at Disneyland. Big Hero 6 movie. But it's Big Hero 6 matched up with Hello Kitty.
Now, does that have a label in it?
I don't know. Now, here's the the death of me. I mean, I spent a whole $2.99. And I loved it down in this bottom corner here. There's a little Hello Kitty. I need a hug, Baymax. I think this is going to be a really good find. So obviously it's a Disneyland exclusive. I could not find. I did. Nope, not a fake. Disney's done a bunch of stuff like that. There's a real label inside it too. The label. And
does it say who made it?
No.
What does the label say?
Again, I don't expect that there'd be any reason for anybody to do a fake Baymax at Tomorrowland at Disneyland. Again, I've done a lookup on this, and at this point I can't find it. But I think, again, it's in really nice shape.
It's a pillowcase, isn't it?
It's a pillowcase. And the thing is, I think about 5 months ago, I picked up a pillowcase. What was it? An 18 pillowcase, I think it was, for $1.99. We sold that for $50. Just a pillowcase. So it was just really interesting to find something. I love Big Hero 6 with Baymax and Hello Kitty as a combo. I just thought that was really interesting. And then finally, because he wasn't around, but he's developed a fetish.
Boobies! Oh no! Oh, you found another one.
I got another one. For some reason, in the past
month
and a half, he has bought
every one I've seen.
Every one of these that he's seen. I don't, and they're not expensive. It was $3.99. But let me just see if I can do a quickie here.
Well, how many on the windowsill right now?
That's what I'm just going to do a quick picture of that.
Ignore the mess.
So this is the windowsill right now. And the last couple of weeks, he's been so happy because he found these two that were like a tiny version.
Yep.
And then, yeah, he's building some kind of army. I do not know what he's doing with them. But when I saw this today and he didn't come with me, I thought, I guess I have to buy them for him so that he's got another one.
Yay.
No idea.
And yeah, I think they are sold at IKEA for like $10. So.
Oh yeah, probably. There's nothing big. Elise is going to an Acid Phi Fantasy Weekend. Mr. T is going to be there. Oh jeez.
Pity the fool.
So
is he going to be in a wheelchair?
Now our big thing of the week, which Rick didn't want to go to, but we ended up going to anyway, was we visited a public library book sale. I just happened to see an ad that showed up on Facebook, and I thought, never been to one of these things before. Might as well go. I did a post in Craft saying, would any of you shop at something like that? And just so you know, this is what we sort of looked at. This is just table after table after table. You can see this just happens to be one section. There's more tables over there. There's more tables at the back. And then as we go towards the end, more tables. And then look over there. Sorting through stuff.
Actually, I was counting stuff so we could pay to leave.
So it was a lot of fun to try and go to something like that. So we bought a bunch of different things. We spent a total there of about, no, it wasn't at Cedar Brae. It was at another place. I'm not telling. It's my hidey hole. But it wasn't at Cedar Brae. And
the pricing was interesting. Pricing was very interesting.
Huh?
Pricing was interesting.
Well, the pricing they said was, here's a big, huge, here's a bag. Fill the bag, pay what you can. Then, if you could, we'd like $1 for everything else for every other thing you buy. And so we had so much stuff that we had to do. There were literally 3 or 4 trips that we had to potential boxes. We had to get boxes from them. And what we ended up doing was we spent about, because it was also a charity, we spent about $150 in total, but we got about 200 plus things.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things right now. Do you want to
The
start?
girl at the counter almost fainted when Craig said,
Yeah, because everybody else was walking
Blah,
up
blah.
with 2 books and then going, will you take a quarter? Or like 5 books and going, would you take $1? And I brought a box up and I said, we got 95 things in here. How about $100? And she was like, didn't know what to do. So why don't you start off, Rick, with some of the stuff that you found?
Oh, okay. I cleared out an entire table of graphic novels without even looking at the titles. I didn't look any of these up. I just
we
noticed
did not.
them.
We did no book scanning at all.
Yeah, nothing. I thought they were really interesting. So here's one. It's called Stray Dogs, and it's in reasonable condition. There are a couple of minor bends at the very corners, and on the last page of each of the books, they have the little magnet thing that if you go through the checkout without checking it out, it'll ding an alarm. I don't know if we're going to take any time to remove those or not. But so this book, I did quickly look it up, sells or lists between $20 and $40 US. Who knew? This one is called Clockwork Angels. Again, I did a really, really quick book lookup, and the lookup was between $20 and $80 US. There are some condition issues, but still, the point is that we paid less than $1 a book. There is, I don't know if you can read what that is, Craigie.
Transmetropolitan.
Transmetropolitan. I think you looked up a couple of the Transmetropolitan, and again, depending on what issues they are, they can sell for good money. Black Road, Crossed. There are 100 others down there. There were also a whole slew of Ms. Marvel graphics.
Rick, just as a thing, this was Transmetropolitan, $45 for 6 of them, $149 for a complete set, $99, like all over the place, but $50, $60, $70. So
I'm wondering if we got a complete set.
we don't even know what we got. Like that, we still have to go through that. We haven't actually gotten to that point as of yet.
Yeah, there are also some cool anime books. So we got a crap load of those.
Yeah. Except number 1. It drove me crazy. We had 2 through 15
and
with
then
2 number 2s.
These hardcover books were hidden behind a whole bunch of other ones. So there's a science fiction encyclopedia, Realms of Fantasy, and Alien Landscapes. Again, these are hardcovers, so they're kind of cool. And that's all the books I brought down to show. But again, it was basically scoop them from the cart, put them in a box, pay for them, and now we're going to be looking them up and figuring out whether they list on eBay or if we just throw them right into Max Sold.
Well, Alien Landscapes sold for 27 US and 15 US.
Okay.
We paid about 50 cents on average for most of these. Where's something? Heather wants to know, what is a graphic novel? Basically, a graphic novel is just an enhanced comic book. That's the easiest way for me to say it. So let me just flip.
Yeah, this is one of the Ms. Marvels. It's like a comic book, but the panels are
bigger. It's usually in a glossier shape. It's usually a bigger single story or multiple issue story. But it really is a comic book. And then show Rick, with most of the time they have like a hardcover spine. So they've got a hard spine.
Yep.
So What was the Ms. Marvels that you got, Rick? That's the first thing I saw you standing with. What was it?
This one is Ms. Marble. Ms. Marble, no normal.
I'm just trying to look that up because I didn't look that up. So there's somebody here who has Ms. Marvel paperback lot, volume 1 to 3 and 5 to 10. They got $15 for that. Somebody has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for $20. These are solds.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we probably are going to do with this is literally our thought process on this is these are probably going into our max sold. These aren't necessarily going any other place other than a max sold. But we just thought that we had the opportunity to pick stuff up, and it was for something that most people wouldn't do, but we did a trial on. So we spent $150, and we see what actually ends up happening with this. And then next year, or if we see any other library or book sales, that's what we'll go to. Now, the thing is, the way that they had set this particular up, we only had 1 hour. So they were letting people in, and you came in for an hour, and then the next group came in for an hour. So we didn't, as well, we're not book scanners, so we didn't have the ability to do that much on it. I think
I saw one guy scanning books, but
yeah, I did do one grab, which was pretty well every single Xbox game and PS4 game that they had. I've done some checking on the games that I picked up, and I mean, some of them, again, the things are all inside them, but for a max sold, this will be great for us to try and see what happens on these. Like, I think this is like an $8 one. This is like a $2 one. This is like a $7 one. So we could probably get some money for all of these. And again, we'll be putting them into lots of probably 5.
Yeah, and we may try to remove some of the labels. We may not.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we don't know if we're going to try and get rid of that thing on them.
We'll see how difficult
on
it
this
is.
itself, it actually has the library name on it as well. So we're gonna probably just not do that. So
yeah, we'll describe it as ex libris.
I grabbed some other stuff, which is they also had donated books. I grabbed one right as we were leaving. I saw this hardcover lot, and I grabbed a Maeve Binchy. And I don't know if anybody remembers Maeve Binchy, but she was a romantic novelist. Well, I opened it up, and it's an autographed Maeve Binchy, and I was like, "Yay!" Well, it only goes for like $7. I grabbed these 2 Star Wars books, and then popped onto eBay, and there's those 2 Star Wars books in a little bit better shape, $20. So there we go. It's just stuff that we're going to actually put up and see what it is that we can get for it. You never know. Part of our thrifting life and our reselling life. Time to get weird. Rick is going to start off with.
Now, this is kind of interesting.
I didn't veto this. I tried, but I've used my veto. This was last week.
It's really interesting. It is by a fellow named L. Kirsch of London. There's the certificate of authenticity. And it's basically a print that's made up of teeny tiny watch pieces or horological art. And some of this guy's work can go for pretty good money. It was priced at $8.99 Canadian. It was purchased on a Senior's Day, so 30% off.
There's a clock tower one that he did that sold for $30.
Yep. I think some of the prices on Etsy are a little bit higher, but still they're pretty good money for what they are. It's also a pretty attractive piece.
I did ask him why. That was one that I was like, if you're getting it, you're getting it because I don't have a veto. But why?
Oh yeah, it's a dental thing too. We'll call him Seymour.
Today I found that somebody, I don't know, sometimes you see stuff and you just go, I try to think, where did it come from? Like how did this, why was it made and where did it come? Oh. This is a box. use in the morning and in the evening on lower legs. It is literally nothing but an empty box.
What's in the box?
I'm trying to decide, did somebody put something in the box they had to take out of the box? Did they hit their lower legs with the box? Did they stand on the box with their lower leg? I don't understand. Now, the thing was, as I turned it around, this was the only side that said in the evening on lower legs. The other three sides just said use in the morning and in the evening. So I'm not sure if it was, oh, it's morning, use the box, bonk. And then in the evening, it's like, don't hit yourself in the head again, hit yourself in the leg. I don't know. It was just strange.
Yes, bonk on the shins.
Yeah. Then I don't know. Bachelor party, bachelorette party. Sure as hell better not have been a birthday party. There are about 50 of these I love drunk sex shot glasses. Like, this is not the entire picture. They went to both sides of this picture. And hey, they were $2.99 for two. It's exactly it. It's thrift store humor. But it is. That's true. It is the bizarro land. And this was one where I went, okay. There are words. They're just not not necessarily easy to come by. Now, it's sort of in the neighborhood that we were showing, Rick said something else. I wanted to do a new little section, which is called Add It to the List, which is something that we found. And when we found it, I'd never thought about thrifting this before. I didn't actually thrift this specific thing because there were a lot. We didn't buy any of the I love. I don't even remember. I love what?
Drunk sex.
I love drunk sex. Is that what it was?
In the morning and the evening.
I don't drink. So this add it to the list thing is something that we found that was just interesting. So we were in this happened to be a Salvation Army, and I saw all of these, and I thought these are so cute, and they are like jigsaw puzzle art. So this was a little seal and a clown. There's a polar bear, and they're like three-dimensional pretty well as well. It's kind of like a bolo, yeah. It's kind of like a be on the lookout, but you have to be on the lookout for certain ones. This was fascinating. Look at this. They did a whole raccoon on a branch. Like this.
That's a lot of time and effort.
A lot of time and effort. I mean, this was not a simple little thing to put together.
So Uncle Bob retired.
A guy with a dog, a squirrel eating a pumpkin.
Uncle Bob retired, and Auntie Jane bought him a jigsaw puzzle and a pile of wood.
So
get out of my house.
I didn't know what these were, so I actually had to do a little research on them, and I found out what they are called is, where did I lose it? I lost the thing. I see if I can do it with the Google Lens again and find the name, because it was a name that I never there it is. Intarsia. Never heard of that word before. Intarsia. I've heard of marquetry, but never intarsia. So intarsia. Now, the reason that I'm bringing it up to you guys is because look how many results there are. 12,000 intarsias. Okay, so let's add wood, since obviously there's somebody who does clothes that way. So 2,000 of them. There's still 2,000 of them. Now, let's take a look at solds. 150. So they're not big on sales. But when you look at some of the higher priced ones, it was surprising to me how much money some people were getting for some of these things. Like, look at this piano one, $149. That one, $150. That dog, $150. So I think it's just one of those things that you want to take a look at. See, I mean, they're 100 Chow Dog. Now, hockey player, $75, $80. So again, this might be something that you come across more often at a garage sale, maybe. This obviously, we think that it was either somebody who they'd obviously retired. They were all by the same person. They were all stamped on the back with somebody's name. And yeah, so let's type it in there. Just Intarsia wood. Yeah, I spelled it wrong, of course. Intarsia. It's it. That's what happens when I'm not looking right. So it just was something really interesting that I thought might be interesting for everybody else to take a look at. They fall under the same category as Live, Laugh, Love signs, but a 70s version. I don't know if they're 70s, but again.
They remind me of 1980s woodworking stuff.
Yeah.
It's something that Dad would be doing if he were still alive and retired.
Yeah, and again, depending on what it is, like the reason we didn't buy those is they were $19.99 as well. So they were too expensive for us to buy. They weren't like cheap to try and do an investment in. If I had, I probably would have invested. I don't know if I would have got that raccoon because it was so long. It would have been a hard thing to ship.
Well, this is interesting.
Intarsienarbeit.
Intarsienarbeit is the German word.
Did not know that.
Thank you.
Well,
you can learn stuff.
How do you like them apples?
How do you like them apples?
I don't know why. I just thought I'd show you that. There was just a whole box of apples, and Rick and I were going, if this was us before, we would have bought those. Those are the sort of things that are typical that we would pick up.
We can buy them. We can hang on them for a while and then try to sell them.
Yeah. This is one more thing that is just, I found this, somebody had posted this on just another Facebook group, and I just was fascinated when I saw it. And I know Carl does a lot of stuff with Skylanders. Take a look at this Skylander. Couldn't believe it. Skylanders Imaginators, Chompy Mage in green, sold for $900.
Wow.
Skylanders doesn't even make stuff anymore. I don't buy Skylanders because I don't know enough about them. I think Lighthouse Linda bought a bunch of Skylanders once. I don't know if you made any money on those or not. It's a tough one because there's certain ones you can make good money on and certain ones you can't. So it was just something, again, interesting. I thought, I should show you guys something. Let me see, what do we got? Now I got a lovely section that I'm going to just quickly talk about, which I've called Handmade in Hell. I don't know why. It's sort of in the same world as this. Oh, Carl's there. Carl's at Skylanders. Yeah. Have you had that one, Carl? Have you ever had that specific Skylander or not? Handmade in Hell is just these four things. I saw these four things all today, all in the same place. And I just had to take pictures of them. I think this is a cupcake. I don't know. I thought it was alive. Not as alive as that one, which is somebody's version of Mr. Bill. But here, let's do a turtle and a little girl and a cow. Okay, these are more handmade in hell than the other two, but I have a lot of these that I found. So I'm starting to think I like doing this handmade in hell section now because I've got so many pictures of it. Am I boring you?
Yes. Carl's answered yes. He has had that figure, but the cheaper variant.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, Mr. Bill.
Last but not least for us today, I just wanted to take you through a bulk buy that I did that I talked about. I think I might have talked about it before, but I wanted to show you why I did it, which was I did a big bulk buy of baggies. And the baggies that I found were this entire bag full. This whole thing is filled with American Girl clothes. So let me just show you. This was what it was like on the shelf. I walked up and I saw this. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find that one that I need to or I want to, but the first thing I saw, and I don't know if you can see it in this, there's a couple other pictures here too. That's all of them in the cart. But this is what I saw that caught my eye. That is an American Girl Harry Potter sweater. Now, these were all priced at $5.99 or $6.99, 30% off day. Now, what I did was, before I even bought any of them, I started looking at them to see what they were. And I think that second picture shows you a much better idea. I could look in there and see the American Girl, the American Girl name on the clothing. So it was something I was like, okay, I know this is American Girl. I also was able to, when I go to look at some of the shoes, you can see on the bottom of them the American Girl logo on the shoes. Now, I have no clue about what to do with a lot of these. I mean, I know I'm going to resell them. You can see on the bottom, American Girl. So somebody got rid of this entire thing of American Girl stuff, and it's all sorts of different things. And I was looking at it going, I don't know what to do. There's so many baggies here. There's so much stuff. I have to sort through it all. And then what we did was I decided there's so much stuff in here. So many bags of shoes and everything like that. Might do well at the booth, yeah. But what I did was I looked up, see if I can find this, American Girl Harry Potter sweater, and I was shocked to see how much. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that, Kendra. I'm going to have to do a bunch of Googling. I'm going to be Googling pieces just to make sure. But I haven't checked and said just the sweater itself was sold. I actually have solds in here. I have to find the solds for the various sweaters. $98. If I can find that scarf. And I did find ones with just the sweater and nothing else, and it sold for $40, $65, $95, $88. I know those are brand new, $74. So I'm stunned. I don't know if I got any other stuff in there, but what I did was I said
you
to Rick,
could probably list the sweater on its own for $25, and that's paid
no,
for
I showed you
bag.
the sweater had sold for $40 US
on its own.
On its own, just the sweater, no scarf. I don't know if the scarf is in one of these things either.
No.
But I can look at a lot of stuff to find out more. Like, here's a good example. There's something where I could dig a little more into to find out. Look at all the stuff that came with the Quidditch uniform. I may have those shoes, or I may have those shin pads, or something like that. So, but it's going to be a bit of a dig. But I said to Rick, "What do you think?" These, I can't even remember how many bags there were in here. I think there's 10 bags at least.
I thought they were more like 15 or 16.
Let's say $60.
It was less than $100.
It was about $60 with the discount. Once you got the discount, because again, $5.99 less 30% is basically $4. So $4 Canadian, $3 US times, and a couple of $6 ones. Like that one that's $5.99, but for some reason one of these was $6.99. That one was $6.99. So again, I got some fun ahead of me, but I mean, because again, I've got tons of shoes. I showed a picture of this on an American Girl Facebook group, and I have just showed people, look what I found on the wall, and I had people actually messaging me in that alone, going, "I need those shoes."
Yeah, Heather was actually suggesting a Facebook group.
Yeah, so. After the research, I'll be an expert in a new category. Yeah, that's true. I do. Jennifer, I'm the same. I have a lot of fun going through this kind of stuff. I don't know if we would have bought it if we hadn't have found that one Harry Potter thing. Because that, to me, I said to Rick, look, we've got this one thing in here that has sold with no scarf and nothing else, and it's sold for $40 US. $40 US is like 50 Canadian with fees, 40 Canadian with fees. So I paid for almost every bag if I can sell one thing.
Yep.
And so we decided to say, you know what? I'll risk it for the biscuit. And so these have been sitting here for 2 weeks. And now I might try and do a video of me trying to do the searching on some of these things just to see what they are, like doing the Google searches and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I'm sure I'll be easily able to find that bonjour et au revoir as doing a Google search. So I'll be able to find out what outfit this is supposed to be with, if it's supposed to be with these pants or whatever the heck it's supposed to be. You know, it's going to be a mess though.
Yeah, Heather's saying clothes are better than the dolls. And I think that's because the clothing can fit on any doll versus being a specific outfit for a particular doll, right?
I get, yeah. I mean, yes, you could
So
put
the
it on
market
any.
is anyone with an American doll could buy it. It doesn't have to be Prissy or Colette or Jujubee or whatever their names are. I don't know American Girl doll names. I'm lucky that way.
So I just looked up to find out if I could find out what it was, and that one thing.
Are you intending to show your screen?
Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to see if I could find that particular thing. And it says I found one on WorthPoint for some reason. American Girl Bonjour Fashion Tee. Interesting, because it's got one that showed up on WorthPoint. Oh, there we go. $3. Well, no, that's a personal one, I think. Size medium 10 to 12. That's a real girl. This is not a real girl. So you never can tell. But again, that's why I always say I love trying to see bulk buys. So we ended up doing 2 bulk buys this time. One of them being the bulk buy at the library that we never expected we would actually do. And somebody sold just that t-shirt for $24 on WorthPoint. Just this t-shirt. It was new, but that means it's a good $10 t-shirt on its own. So we've got 200 things to look through for books to prep for the next Max Sold or next couple of Max Solds. We got 15 bags of clothing. I have, from the other week I showed you briefly, I have 10 bags of dollhouse furniture. I got to stop finding bulk buys. It's my equivalent of Rick buying big furniture. I've been buying all this little stuff. But, you know, when you find something that's as adorable as this that you might be able to flip for $100, you got to go for it. So thanks so much for joining us here Tuesday. We will see you next Tuesday for another adventure in reselling. We don't know what we're going to do. I don't know whether Rick's going to come out with me or if he's just going to say to hell with you. But hopefully you got a couple of hints there on some things that you might not have thought about before. Really special Skylanders, the Intarsia wood, and even reminding people that keep your eyes open in Canada for baby animal Muppet babies. We will see you again next Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody. Hopefully we're going to do some garage selling this weekend. This Saturday it poured rain, so we didn't get a chance to.
It was my birthday, so I wasn't getting up anyway.
But it also poured rain, so nobody would have been set up.
I willed the rain.
He willed with his
I willed it. The power of my mind compelled it.
So now it's time for me to start playing with dollies. Okay.
Again. Have a good night, kids.
Have a great
Thanks
night.
for joining us.
I don't know if this is real or not. I'm going to be doing a lot of that. Google.
They're real.
I need to Google. I need to Google this.